Okay, this is what we have tried for. We just named it as ISHA. It says Integrated Safety System for Hired Automobiles. You can ask us why hired automobiles. Actually, we saw a problem statement as a part that we have to solve some social cause. So, we've chosen this based on 3 criteria. One thing is like solving a social cause, something for the society. And the second thing is like who are actually in need of it. The huger part of the market that we can satisfy. And the third thing is bringing it to a very low cost, because BMW and Audi are so costly because it is for their safety. So people like who are very rich, who run enterprises and everything, they buy a car as an investment because they want themselves to be safe in any kind of accidents or anything. Why not make it affordable to people who are not that rich? So on these 3 criteria is what we have come up with this idea basically. So the first thing is we just saw accidents. Like when we came to Bangalore from Coimbatore, we saw the accidents over there comparatively it's like lesser than here because the population is huge. The number of cabs that run is huge because there we don't even get an Ola auto that easily, but here it is like every auto is like it's for hiring under Ola and it is a huge thing, and most people prefer some hired automobile for a short period of time. So that's why we chose that hired automobile category. So when we came to accidents, we wanted to know what are the 3 categories that the drivers who are driving the hired automobiles normally tend to cause accident because of what? The first thing is like drinking and driving. The second thing is drowsiness. When you take heavy load vehicles, they keep on driving from north to south. So they tend to feel drowsy, and it is wrong. When we are drowsy, there is accidents occurring, but the driver actually doesn't know he is going to feel sleep. It may happen anytime when they are on a long drive. And the third thing is like when the truck is full of load and there is a curve, a hairpin bend or anything in the night times. There are mirrors in hill areas, but during the night time it actually isn't that helpful. So we wanted to solve all these problems in one integrated device as a solution. And we targeted the hired automobile because nowadays the people in the middle class, rather than buying a vehicle and putting the driver and going, they prefer the hired things more. So we wanted this, and so that we give it like a module so that the owner of the Ola, like whoever runs it, can just fix it into his ECU. So he can also get the data analytics automatically, which will be more useful, and it will be a much bigger market that we are trying to target. So we wanted this because it can also tell the condition of the driver to himself, and the driver will be more cautious because he knows the car itself is having so many things inbuilt to it, and the owner is getting the data always. It's like a live stream, so it is more cautious for the drivers and for the cab owners who their business is completely dependent on the drivers. How good is the driver? That good is what his business runs. So we wanted to solve these 3 problems for any car as a module which can be fixed at very low cost. We are using several concepts to deal each one of these problems, which will be explained in details.
Good afternoon all, I am Geeksup Krishna. I would like to explain the features of ISHA. It contains 4 main features, namely drowsiness detection, blind spot bypasser, alcohol consumption detector, and assistance for safe driving. Let me explain that drowsiness detection in detail. Most of the accidents, about a survey says that 20% of the accidents occurs due to drowsiness of the driver, and even it may extend to 50% in some of the roads. So drowsiness detection is a major problem which we have to solve it, and so that we got about 4 options to solve this problem. One is monitoring the steering. Actually, it continuously monitors the steering and gets input through the some electronic gadgets, and it actually compares it with the database which we have collected from all drivers actually. and whenever we can actually easily detect that whenever the driver goes sleep, there will be some changes in his steering, right? So we can compare it with, and we can produce some alarm indication to indicate that he is going to feel asleep. And second one is vehicle positioning in lane actually. These are useful in long drive. Whenever the driver feels asleep, he will automatically change his lane, driving rashly, so that we can continuously monitor the lane, and whenever he goes across, we can automatically, or else we can produce an indication so that he can get an alert and drive safely. And third one is most important, driver eye phase monitoring. We will be placing a sensor in the car. It will continuously monitors the iris movements. This is also compared with the previous databases. Whenever the driver goes asleep, there will be some changes in his iris. So we can compare with the previous database and compare so that we can find he is going to fall asleep, and we can just give a vibration or a sound to indicate the problem. And the last one is psychological measurements. It is so costly that it can be fitted in the seats actually. It will be continuously monitoring the heart rate, brain activity, muscle activity, everything. Whenever the driver goes asleep, it will give an alert. We prefer a driver eye phase monitoring. You may ask the question, if they are a cooler, how you will monitor the eye phase? So that we go to the next option, that steering pattern monitoring. So it will be convenient for us to monitor continuously and avoid the problem.
So see, I understand the driver eye facing monitoring because you do policy. The steering pattern, see, first of all, second point in lane monitoring, you don't have a lane system in India at all. Everybody is all over the place, so we don't want alarm in our car saying you're sleeping when you're actually driving normally. That can be annoying. And secondly, steering pattern is also something I'm not able to understand. What will change? I mean, see, when suddenly a car comes, I will still steer and I will go. So, what pattern are you looking at here and how it will change?
That's what we will be collecting a lot of databases.
Have you done the research?
No, we are yet to start it.
Okay, so you need to talk to those drivers and find out, or you might have to sit along with them for a journey and actually see.
We are also planning to apply the machine learning kind of thing in this, so that the machine automatically learns it and can produce the result. We can give the data before it. We can use several algorithms like a depth first search algorithm. So that
our driving is not very organized in India. In US, probably a market will be abroad.
And one
Where it's more
organized that equipment will be installing into the vehicle or whatever. The owner also can sit and see. But with the owner, you have the time to see each and every driver how he is driving, and all it will reflect somewhere. Only when there is some hazard happening, some notification.
Some red color. So this driver is going to do something.
So this is for drowsing,
Drowsiness detection.
Okay.
Drowsiness, alcohol, and blind spot detection and integration.
Accidents caused because of that.
Okay. So where is it? Sorry, I just came late. Sorry for the wrong question. Where the data is going to be placed?
In the ECU,
We will be integrating a module with the ECU.
Just like a kit where driver fits the audio system, we can fit the kit and we can integrate the ECU, because ECU has an inbuilt program where you can just tune it, you can plug in and tune it, so it will corresponds to the programs already inbuilt in it.
So she's talking about drunk driving, right? How does it sense it out? What are the
The next one.
We will be explaining.
Sure, continue.
It will be the blind spot detection will be explained by Alika.
Hi people, so I'm going to tell about the blind spot detection by passive. So generally, hire vehicles also, there also are categories like trucks and big vehicles. There will be a person who is renting them out. And trucks are a very major source of accidents because first of all, they are heavy vehicles, and most of these operate not only in cities but also in hill areas and all those places where accidents are very much more prone than in the urban settings. So what happens is, a person who's sitting in a truck sits on an elevated position. So sometimes it's difficult for them to be noticing who is directly in front of them or to the left of them.
Yeah,
There are some blind spots in the truck. Yeah, you're right, ma'am. So for these people, only experience is the virtue by which they can be avoiding accidents. Some person who are new, and even the most experienced of drivers cannot escape accidents. Accidents, no one can predict when it's going to happen. Even person who has been driving for 50 years may suddenly have faced a situation like that. So for preventing these, we are thinking of integrating a system in vehicles, which can also be cars, but basically for trucks. We are thinking of, for example, you can see in this picture how, for example, a car is coming from the side which the driver is not sitting. He might not notice it fast and he might turn the truck and it can cause accident. So in these cases, we can have some sensors. For example, we are now thinking of ultrasonic sensors, but there are other things in the market like proximity sensors, which we will see. So depending on that, we can notice if any object or vehicle or something is coming close to the car. It can alert the driver and it can make him know if something is coming in the way. And not only for moving objects, even stationary objects can be detected by this. So he can see some small rocks or something which he is not able to notice. So by this way, we are thinking of avoiding the blind spots of a truck or any other vehicle. So this is what we are thinking. And next, coming to
what is the distance between, suppose there is a rock, okay, where he is not able to see, what is the distance between the vehicle and the rock where he can sense it? How we have figured it out?
Yeah, based on the vehicles, ma'am. For example, for trucks, the distance need to be different, and for cars, it needs to be different because cars you can basically notice. So, because this is a scalable product, we can give it to different people depending on the requirements. We can modify it to their vehicle requirements. For example, a person who has so many cars at his disposal, like a car renting company, it can be different requirements for him depending on the drivers. We have to conduct a research and we have to find out about how they drive and what are the problems they face, and then we can integrate it. Because it's all coding, we can do it however we want.
No, question was, how do you identify an object and what is the distance of the object which you are trying to see, put a sensor to? That is what that question was.
Yes, ma'am. So
See, we have a similar thing for reverse parking.
yes,
The cars.
Yeah.
As soon as it comes, they have some distance where when you know,
Yeah.
it gives a beep.
Actually, proximity sensor calculates the distance.
Yeah.
We can code it that, say it's a proximity sensor, it can take up to like, say simply like 20 meters or something like that. We can code it like until 5 meters. If something is there, less than 5 meters, 5 or less, then give me a signal.
So, okay, that is the parameter you set in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's all codable. We can modify it.
So object is not the criteria.
Yeah.
The distance is the criteria.
And when you make a parallel parking, you have the rear view mirror, you can see the back end of the car. But to the left side of the wheel, you better know where the pavement is there or not.
Yeah.
So this can help you as an indication.
For
But
parking, it's very, very helpful.
because currently you have the parking for the back side, reverse camera.
Correct.
For the side, many people drive where they have to learn parallel parking. That is a big one, and this will solve the issue.
For parking, it's but other things like lane crossing, steering wheel, I have my question.
Because lane crossing again, see one vehicle is comes by
Our
the side,
India is not always-
obviously the driver will look into the mirror, right? So whether he has to look into the mirror or listen to the beep, which one he will attend?
Actually,
He can drive as of his wish, but it will give an indication whenever it is going to be a hazardous one.
It need not be a buzzing alarm or something. It can simply
It can be a vibration.
Yeah.
Only that he can feel.
we made it for the drowsiness detector. There was a condition where if he wears sunglasses, usually some people wear sunglasses during daytime. When he is not wearing a sunglasses, the eye iris retina of detector will be useful. When he wears a sunglasses, the lane monitoring will help him.
And generally it's more like when it goes for lane system and all, what we are trying to tell is like the prominent thing that is going to be the iris thing. But in case now, since the driver is like he's driving for you for some more time, it will collect its own databases. And you can see there will be sudden jog. It not need necessarily be a lane transmit, a jog can also be detected. So that's what we're trying to tell is that lane will just try to detect the jog, through which it can just be an indication, like there is some changes, not necessarily you're trying to be drowsiness, not necessarily trying to tell that you are the drowsiness. Yeah.
So you have a combination of changing lane and a jerk is what you're saying?
So it's really data, I think.
Basically,
Machine learning.
you train a model, it will know how you're driving the Bangalore traffic every day, knows how you're getting it done. A slight change, like what you don't face, it can automatically detect.
That's what we can.
Yeah, but I personally feel the market for you would be abroad. I really stick to that. Yeah, mostly because the way the traffic is very organized, you cannot shift lanes, you cannot move, here and there, you cannot jerk too much, you cannot honk. There are a lot of rules that here there is no rule, so that's mine. Yeah, just reconsider your market. The concept is good. Safety is always a priority for everyone. Just consider your market in India. I don't know. I am not convinced, but maybe it will work.
And also this system, ma'am, we will give not all the things, but the things that the owner requires. For example, if he wants only the drunk detector and only the lane changer, we give that an option. Yeah, so it can also.
The sleep alertness with the monitor is nice. I mean, eye monitoring things. Because sleepiness is something that is.
That is the
It
priority.
really happens and it's very, very.
That is the one which we top our list definitely. But it's like there's an exceptional case. Like when we actually mentioned this, there was a question telling what about if I wear a sunglass. So we were just having a backup option where the prominent one would be the iris sensor.
So the name is number glass you learn, right?
Yeah.
So next, the very important thing is the drunk detector, the alcohol consumption detector. So what we do is we have a module which is fit inside the steering or the headboard or somewhere near the driver, and it is isolated from the rest of the car. It can only detect from the driver's seat, so that if others are drinking back, for example, if you book a cab from a pub or something, it should not be based on the customers but only on the driver. It will detect the breath of the driver to analyze if there is ethanol content, which is basically alcohol, and then it can make the car to stop, or it can send an alert to the company. For example, the owner of the car, suppose you book an Ola, for example, or any other rented car, and the driver is drinking and coming. What will be your impression? You will be like, I don't want this cab, right? So without just your seeing, the car automatically knows if the driver is drunk, and it sends a signal to the company, so the company can take action if they want, and also the car also stops or takes it stops moving.
And you cut off the signal.
Yeah, not exactly, but it depends based on how our owner wants it. The customer.
Because you are mentioning higher vehicle.
You would rather.
The customer is booked a higher vehicle, booked a higher
You will
vehicle.
take as soon as.
Yeah, they just redirect to another nearby cab so that you need not get into an uncomfortable car.
So the customer will get notifications. I think there's some.
You just get notifications saying when sort of inconvenience will just redirect to another cab because it's drunk.
That's not good.
Because you don't want to drive a car.
Because I people use Uber and Ola and all that. So
we have a video to show how this system works if you want to watch it.
It's your own system or somebody's system?
It's generally what's practiced everywhere.
Such
It's
better.
about integrating everything together. Basically, how it does is there will be light radiations passing. So when we breathe out, we have carbon dioxide, and if at all you have alcohol consumption, there will be ethanol molecules. So the carbon dioxide, when it passes through light, which is always being passed in our system, the amount of light it captures, and the light goes out. When the light comes in and some molecule captures and goes out, the density is less. Carbon dioxide usually absorbs less light. When it's an ethanol molecule, it's larger. The density is large, so the light which is absorbed is more. So we have like 3 lights or something in here, telling that you have 10%, 20%, 30% alcohol consumption. Because when you usually take a tonic or a medicine, there is some alcohol content and you can't tell you're drunk. So when it is 3 red peaks lights, when it's full, there is a notification sent to the owner and everything.
again, you should monitor the distance.
Yeah.
So that
It will be
distance you
covering
should be
the
able to.
area only driver.
Because currently police guys, they catch the cars, they give something that is so close to the mouth and
They blow that, right?
They blow
yeah, blow or something. So it shouldn't be that. Obviously, the driver is not going to.
It's just
And they are
thing. So if you think only the driver.
Anything, so the driving there is other than the breathing, anything with eye pattern.
We also have a we also have a tech system. Whenever the driver stops, like in the press engine, it will send a light and it can automatically detect the amount of alcohol that so it can alert the driver or does not make him to start the engine.
So our basic criteria is safety of vehicles, and the driver's condition is very crucial to safety. So using IoT modules, we can send signals, notifications to the owner if and all the driver is drunk or something. And this can also be, they can red flag drivers who drink and drive, so they can stop these drivers from joining other company. Not exactly like that, but it depends on their all performance. They can analyze the performance of the drivers using this, and they can understand.
So you have a scorecard for themselves.
Yeah, we have a rating system based on customers, but it will be better if the car analyzes the driver also. So the next topic will be role based.
Assistance for safe driving. This is a new concept where we use a radar technology like used in the airplanes. We know when you are going in a curve or in a hilly station where there is a fog, there is a blind spot here. So your vehicle is fitted with a receiver and a transmitter, and you have a display like this where your car is going like here. You know the curve is, so consider this as a curve. When your car is approaching you, even it will have the same radar. So the car is spotted here as a dot. So you know here is a car, so you can slow down. This is helpful when if it is in a straight road. When you take an overtake, consider it as a long track. You have to overtake it and you have to come to the left. So you know whether you can. It has a range. Consider it as a range of around 200 to 300 meters. Your vehicle is here and the truck is here, and another vehicle is here. So you know you can go here and take the left. So you are safe. It is a complicated system where it needs a GPS positioning system, GPS, and it has a satellite for radar. When we integrate these two, the safety is very much improved as a visually. So you cannot take a risk overtake without your knowledge.
It's good for foggy, hilly areas.
There is also talking about overtaking in a normal situation.
Usually in hill stations, you have a mirror fitted on the center of the hairpin bend, because if it is foggy or something else, you never know the vehicle is coming here. So when you are going uphill and someone is coming downhill, that's a clash in the curve. So sometimes if he takes right, he may hit the barrier and it may fall down. So he can imagine the vehicle is coming here, so he can go to the lane.
This is a very good,
very
good useful thing.
And generally what happens is like usually human tends to drive fast if they find a very there's no one in the road and it's a very plain road, and usually the driver tends to run so fast. So all of a sudden if somebody is coming entering, so this will try to be a helpful system for them. So next is the composite analysis. Now generally when we talk about the plan, there's always someone who's building it up somewhere else. So we also have a competitors, like if you can see many great brands like BMW or Mercedes, everyone what they try to come out is with a safety system. So already you can see BMW or some big brand cars having it over here. But what the problem with them is that first thing is that they try to be very fancy. You can see a BMW. Generally, what a human does is when a BMW or Mercedes Benz crosses by your standards, it look like it in a very awe manner. So so that's the first thing. They're trying to be bringing out the very fancy thing and all. But yeah, obviously they provide a very good safety system, and that is the reason people are preferring it. Like high luxurious people are preferring that. But again, what the problem is generally in India, the car manufacturers, what they do is either we assemble it over here or we import the dismantled parts. So it's generally that human are not, we don't manufacture car on the whole over here. It's just we either, import things. So what, according to the thing that we researched was that, for dismantling and all, the tax that is paid for India for importing is like 180%. And if the car costs more than $120,000, then it is like around 300%. And that was for a decade before, or probably 5-6 years before. But now the GST system is introduced, so it is again like plus some amount of percent. Now what you can see is a car which is manufactured in US, it is around, for example, 2.8 crores, and when you import to India, after adding all those taxes and etc. things, it is like cost around 8.5 crores. But the thing is again it's a disadvantage, the same safety system and everything, but you need to pay 6 crore extra for no reason just because it is imported. So what we are trying to do is, why can't the things done in India? We can use the made in India companies to bring those manufacturers over here, and everything should be done in India instead of importing it. And that module can be attached, the same kind of module will be attached in our cars at a very affordable price. So that is what we are trying to lay on. The main reason, the main thing is to reduce the cost, because the same safety system has to be used even by a middle class man, and not just the luxurious people should be get an advantage over this. So that is what we are trying to do, is instead of importing all the things from US or some other things, and you can do it over here. Also that is the reason now if you see the same car which is got in the US, if you find in the Middle East countries, it is cost very less. But in India, it is not the case, and the reason behind is the tax. So why don't we try to reduce it by not importing, or obviously nothing can be done also without importing. Why can't we reduce the amount of importing from the other countries? So the thing is that, and
so the point on importing, what you're talking about is the innovation of the product, what you're trying to build and use it internally, or?
No, it's like, see, thing is now, on the whole when a car is manufactured, we just, like I said, we just trying to plug it, right? The whole manufacture, definitely the module will cost some amount, right? And what I'm trying to tell is, once the car is like around 8.5 crores and then you plug it and add some more amount, you let it be at 2.5 crores only and you plug it, the rate is the difference.
So you're saying import the car without the system and probably then create a system.
Yeah, that is what.
You will need international certification, and you have to cater to world standards if you are planning to try and replace an imported. Because imported we are.
No, not just import. We manufacture it in India using our Indian manufacturers.
Correct, but you need to cater to the standards.
Yeah, definitely.
The certification they will need to get.
Yeah.
That the standards, whatever they're trying to build or incorporate with this one.
Maybe it will replace an imported car,
So
right?
talk about innovation and then trying to see something, okay? You're trying to say import, they're trying to put that. So you talk about innovating, there is whole solution here and incorporate into this cars, so that infotainment should be part of this, so that they reduce the value of the proposition that we just.
So that's the reason. So what we learned from our company is this cost effective distribution. Definitely quality will be maintained as we're just plugging it out of the system, and user friendly. Even a middle class man can also afford this car with the same safety. So why only a luxurious man be safer than a middle class man? So he'll also experience the same kind of safety just like a luxurious.
So this will be a kit or this will be a
module. A module. We just plug it in the car.
So you're going to service the kit or what is it going to be?
The second is a module, and then the user can just plug
It
it.
can be plugged into any of the
Any of
cars.
them.
models.
Yeah.
So next is who's our consumer. Basic idea of our project was to sell it to hiring vehicle companies such as Uber, Ola, etc. So why would they want to buy it? It's essentially it will increase their social media sense, like they will attract more customers, saying that they have more safety features and they will worry less, the customers wise. And also the owner of such companies will have a concern, such as having any accidents or any issues with the driver and the customer relationships, and his revenue also will increase due to this because literally guiding more customers inside. And what would it stop from using this app right now? Basically, if it consumes more power than what basically it's required or what other companies does, or if it gets costly in the near future. If we can't reduce the cost of what other companies are doing, if we can't reduce, this will stop it. And what features mainly is looked into is for drowsiness, for trucks and highway riders, and alcohol detection because most of them consume alcohol for taxi drivers. Next. Okay, the review they wanted, what they want is that basically
What is
analysis.
the data size of consumers you have made? That analysis based on what size?
Basically we asked one of our opposite teams, one of our consumers. Yes. And the rest is basically the taxi driver itself. We had in our casualty code every day today. So consumer what they want is energy saving basically. They don't want to keep changing batteries or whatever energy the car consumes too much, and it will cost them more than what they pay for. Next is cost efficient, basically same thing. Less complexity. So even the simplest person can understand it, and not much training is needed for them to be used. So they reduces the training time for them, and the work which is cut out for them, for owners to train the drivers already want to learn.
One minute. You're talking about energy saving, right? There's information system and other things are there. How do you measure energy savings? How do you going to quantify it and say, okay, our product is energy efficient and it saves so much of things compared to the other thing which is deployed onto the platform?
We research the imported companies' module, how much they consume, and how much we will be consuming.
So what is that it takes much of the power? What is it to the from the battery?
It's like until you start the engine, it uses the battery's power.
Okay.
After that, when the engine cranks, it uses the alternator's power. So automatically the alternator distributes power to the electronic consoles, and even it charges the battery. So when it is when it consumes less energy, the energy coming from the alternators reduces. So automatically the battery can be charged easily, and it takes like less fuel consumption. When the alternator runs a lot, it's just think it as a diesel generator. So when the alternator rotates a lot, you need lots of diesel. So when the energy is reduced, the alternator's workload is reduced. So the diesel or the petrol is consumed in it.
So that is the value which you try to burn into the product and selling it and saying that okay, our product is energy efficient, this is how we are going to do it.
Like when we went to customers, when we asked them, they said that this is good, but if it is like energy saving and if it is like very cost efficient and the complexity is like less, like for a basic taxi driver to understand like what is happening, then it would be better for them to use. So based on the user experience, like how good it would be for them to use, how you would like our product to be used. That's how we got these things, and we found like making it energy saving method in that, and making it a little more cost efficient was all that was possible to be done through technology and fabrication. So we added it under the topic like changes that we could do based on the customer review.
So what you would like to incorporate into the product and designing and work?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. That's it, or something to move?
That's it.
So the question is the same. When you're talking about putting this product, right? There are a lot of people who are innovating and doing it in the startup or others, other than the big players what you're talking about. How do you see this as a market? Because everybody is working on this problem, right?
Yeah.
So how is your problem going to be, your solution going to be different than the people who are trying to work on this? This has been evolving, right?
Yeah.
So there's something which has come out new, which we are having a very good position by which you can say Isha is the one probably is the best of class product available in the market, which will try to give you.
Our advantage is that we integrate everything, so that we will be giving it in a single module, so that they can't take 2 or more modules.
And we give a results of the existing models for people.
Yeah. Or what we researched was it's like everything is available but as a separate thing. So if the user wants it, he need to buy the drowsiness detector, he need to buy the next. So everything is going to add up the cost as well as the space. So what we are trying to do is we just give it as an integrated module. The person can select what kind of thing he wants. We'll get everything in a single system.
See, my personal opinion would be you take 2 things, which is primarily if you're targeting India market. You take just 2 things. One is that blind spot, that fog and that hilly area traffic thing, it is really useful. Drunken driving. These are the 2 real problems that we are facing in India. Just my take would be, I would approach the whole thing like this. I will take those 2 things, do intensive research on that. If India is your market, if it's abroad, yes, you can go with other things. But this brake thing, lane changing thing, personally, I don't think.
So what happens to the humps part of it? That is also covered there where the infrared light is set and people break down, because most of the accident occurs when somebody is going and jamming in front of the bump, the light from the back comes and hits, right? Most of the things on the highways happen due to that collision.
So when you have the radar system, you know that when it is like lots of vehicles there, the intensity of the dots increases. So you know that traffic is again.
No, traffic is one part of it. Probably I as a user are speeding on the highway, right? There are humps. That is where suddenly I realize that I need to brake.
At that time, emergency brake comes into act. Like consider a Volvo, it has an emergency braking where it senses, and before the action of the driver, it automatically uses the emergency braking. If it is a condition, we can work on it and we can integrate on it.
Sure, look at it as a feature. That's what, because The use cases what you're talking about typically is known, but beyond that problem, what might be the value added thing which you need to look at?
We can
Yeah, I think your ideas have probably started off something there on the ground. I think it's good to go, but a lot of things that has to go into this when you started building a product. Yeah, good. Thanks. I think it was a good, wonderful presentation by all of you. Yeah. I think you can answer questions from others. I will just about it.